My name is Philip Straatsma. I'm part of Wislog. This year I built the Grand Tournament. The idea that I had behind it actually was to want to build in the round, so I started with the towers first and needed something that would be able to encompass the two towers together. So I decided to kind of focus on the back, start there, and that way if I kind of messed up on the towers, it didn't make them look too good. At least there was stuff in the front that made them look interesting. But once I kind of figured out the round towers and then added the crosswalk in the middle and then built the stand in the front for the royalty to sit in. So from there, it was just a matter of filling out the rest of the set. I decided to not just do the Joust, which added a few interesting tidbits with the archer tournament as well as the knights fighting each other. One of the other things that was really fun for me that I wanted to do was to add a little more color than you would traditionally see in a castle build. Jousting always kind of allows for that and the ability to build the tents, and of course the top of the roof on the tower or the seating in the middle was always enjoyable. So it's definitely the most colorful thing I've ever built.
Yeah. Well, very cool. One thing I really like that I noticed is the worn down path in between the archer and the sort of target there.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So for one of my other hobbies, I do some target shooting and whatnot, and in bow and arrow as well. And you always kind of get that worn path. People going back and forth, pulling out their arrows or whatever. So that was, I guess, just the way it should be, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a really subtle detail, but it makes it look really nice. Yeah. So you can talk about some more about the round tower technique, kind of how you achieve that and how that comes about.
Sure. I can show you.
Sure, yeah.
If that'll help. So one of the ways that you can build in the round, let me pop this off here. I'll pop a couple of them off. If I can get it. The good news is not coming off. I actually brought a bunch of extra tiles with me, figuring that I was going to lose them as it traveled.
Yeah.
So using the snot brick, which I had a bajillion of, and still have actually a lot less, in combination with the 1x1 round brick, what you do is allows you to offset them. So with normal brick, obviously, if you put them side by side, you only get so much flex with them. But by putting the tube, you can turn indefinitely around this circumference. You can actually get many different just circles in what I have here. So the trick is, so they're all stacked on each other, going all the way down. So you get really weak. What you do is every so often, starting on the bottom and working up in the middle here on the top, you put hinge pieces. So that hinge pieces are kind of ugly. So you can use the plate hinge pieces and you hide them behind plates like that. And that adds rigidity to the set. And then on the inside, another challenge is always getting the top and getting the floor or the top of the tower. So, but once you build the structure inside, it actually leaves it fairly hollow. So you just run parts up the middle and then support the intersection and then try to get the wedge plates on top to kind of seal that as much as you can. With Lego, we're always building square stuff and trying to build round things into it. So it's never perfect, but you try to get as close as possible.
Yeah, definitely. So then the build as a whole, does it break into sections for setup, or how does that work?
So I originally built it, this section down here comes off, but then when I built the bar, it kind of cemented it together. So when I removed it from my house, my wife, who's really just wonderful, we had to bend it kind of up and over and twist it a little bit. I lost a few trees during the process, but I was definitely able to get it out of the house eventually. Unfortunately, my Lego room is my office, which is tucked way into the house. So there were some tense situations there, but I'm still married, so
it all works out well in the end.
Yeah.
And another thing I like here is the brick-built tents. So you can talk about sort of the techniques you use with that.
Yes. So one of the things I looked at with the tents, it was very intentional, so I appreciate you asking about that. A lot of the tents people will use the slope pieces, traditional slope that you would see from a rock side. And the problem with that is it tends to be a little more textured, and you don't get a real tent look. So I was trying to go for something semi-realistic yet still, fantasy based. So by using the curved pieces, you're able to build a little bit of billowing within it. So if you look at this one here, it may be hard to see because of the shadow. but it kind of cuts in a little bit. So the idea was like maybe there's like a cinch around that on the inside. And then this is the second one I built, and that was really with the leftover parts I had. So the first one that I built was the red and white one down here. So these are actually slightly different, like there's a 3x1 curve here, but instead of 4x1, so they're slightly different. So you get a little bit of wave effect as you're going in. And then on the top, I intentionally dropped it down by 1, so it also looked like it was folded in a bit, and that there was some support structure on the inside that you couldn't necessarily see, but made it look hopefully more like cloth.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think the whole build came together really nice. So thanks for talking with me about it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.